What's going on, everybody? Thought I would have my shot at a little vlog style video with no real thought on where I'm going other than where I am today. Definitely not where I pictured myself last week, and that was with another puppy in the house. Just been, I think it's just where I've been going lately is just, keeping all avenues open, making sure, I turn down roads I've never driven down before, literally and figuratively, and just kind of going with the flow, but also at the same time, when I do things like ramping up the intensity, now that I can focus better and I'm a little bit more, being I can focus better, I'm more driven, I'm more set in on goals. Before I went to the doctor, I didn't have I was just kind of looking at my life as over at 55. What's the point of goals at this age? And that's never been in my entire life my mindset. Like, I never even thought about my age, let alone not always being driven to do something. And it was definitely out of character for me. So another reason why I'm glad that I did the hardest thing I ever could do and answer the questions at the doctor truthfully. Because the more time goes by, the happier I get, the more excited about life I get, and the more proud I am feeling of myself, that I am feeling like with the same intensity I did when I was, say, 19. Like, I want to do this, I want to go this way, I want to, get out of the slum I was born into, I want to do something. I don't want to be a statistic. I don't want to be a product of my surroundings where I, was raised. I just wanted to be happy, and being in that situation was never going to make me happy. But being driven with a goal, no matter what or how shallow that goal may be, it's what helps you get through this thing called life. At least for me, it's what has helped. Because, I've always been a person who questions everything. So when it comes to, like, say, the maker, a lot of people put their faith in religion, and that gets them through each day. So, religion is not something I knock. It's just not something I believe in necessarily. I believe that it could be possible, right? I believe that anything is possible. We just don't have answers. So whether that's, God created us, we evolved from fish. I don't see that one really happening. Or our DNA was manipulated by another life form, from Neanderthals or monkeys or apes or whatever. Like, I like to keep all avenues open unless there's concrete 100% facts, truths behind it. And that, to me, drives me more than saying, okay, I have the answers. Like, not having the answers for something drives me more than having the answers for something. And I know not everybody's wired that way. And that's why, I think something like religion can be useful and positive for people. But for me, if I had all the answers, then I would be more like, well, what's the point? We already know, we already have the answer, so let's just get this over with. Where me not having any answers, I can create my goals to be anything in the atmosphere. Whether that's chasing something like a Bigfoot, because I believe they could exist, or wanting to shoot for a nicer car, as shallow as that may be, but just using anything and everything across the spectrum of life to make sure you squeeze all the life you can out of each day. And having goals, no matter what they are, really helps me to enjoy moments more, enjoy the time more. So the fact that now there's another dog in the equation, when, Courtney's hit me so hard, she was with me for 13 years. But when I saw Pee-wee was kind of, seemed like he was grieving at first. And then when I started seeing him perk up, and then when he tried to play with the deer the other night, and the deer almost played back, I thought, well, maybe he's ready. At this point, what I felt didn't matter. What mattered to me was how he felt. And I didn't want him just to feel so mopey for no reason, just to being a lone dog. He's never been a lone dog in his life. The family we got him from, he was one of 3 dogs. So, and then he's been with Courtney ever since he was here. So I didn't want his personality to change in a negative way. So it was more about taking care of him, as opposed to worrying about where I am, or my needs. My whole thought is, I haven't had a vacation in 3 years because I've been taking care of Pee-wee. And, I don't hold that against him, but I also want it to be worth it to go his life without a vacation and he get the most out of it and I get the most out of it. And seeing him happy and playful again, after he saw the puppy yesterday, his eyes were so bright and just wide open again. And for, St. Bernards, they got the kind of droopy look at times. Seeing him so wide open and so invigorated with what was going on, it really made me happy. And at the end of the day, that's what matters to me. Sorry about the camera, this thing keeps falling down. But, and this highway's a little bumpy. Get your Audi on. Get your Audi on. I'm on my way down to the APA adoption where we picked up Ghost. They forgot to give me his preventative meds that he was due. So I'm running down here real quick. Stop falling. These bumps are... I think there's a way to tighten this. I just can't do it right now. But I'm down there to get those. So he's got some meds he's got to take for his issues. So I am well versed in taking care of others. So I should be getting paid for it at this point. I'm getting paid for it with love. But yeah, It does bring a different energy to the house, which is always a positive thing, if it's a positive energy. Because he's full of energy. The dude is just nonstop go when he's up and about, but when he lays down, he's kind of just out of it. He's very calm when he stops. When he's going, he's going. He slept throughout the first night. He slept all the way through. And I would guess he hasn't slept well in the last 2 months, being he's been in this adoption area for 2 months, so it's probably noise 24/7 in there. So I'll be curious to see how he sleeps tonight. I took them both for a walk yesterday. My arms were sore overnight while I was trying to sleep because I had 2 big dogs going different directions, and so it's a workout for me to take them for a walk. So I enjoy that too. So that's a positive thing. I like that. Got him out in the backyard running today, trying to get him to play together. Pee-wee's tried to get him to play, but he hasn't yet. It seems like they're still trying to figure out the whole dominance thing, like the packing order. Yesterday, for most of the day, Ghost was trying to show the dominance over Pee-wee. He'd make this weird noise when he comes up on him. And he also would try to basically ride him, if you will. It's kind of a way one puppy shows dominance to another. We had 2 dogs early on. Sable, she was a girl, and Rocco was a boy. And then we had Kane, who was a boy. But Sable, the girl, she would ride Kane, the husky, to say, hey, I'm the dominant one here. But later in the evening and this morning, Pee-wee's been kind of blowing that off and, reacting to it a little bit more. So it's hard to say which one will actually be declared, dominant. But my first concern would be, how's Pee-wee's, is Pee-wee happy? No matter where he stands in that packing order, because he was second when it came to Courtney. Courtney was the one, and he didn't seem to care. So, as long as it's, they start playing together, and once they get really comfortable with each other, and what have you, that's all that matters for me. So, and then to give 2 puppies, he's 7, so he could have about 4 more years of life left. Pee-wee may have 4 more years of life left with his epilepsy. So hopefully they got that long. Trying to get 2 puppies to, live their life and move on, I guess you could say, at the same time is my kind of goal, so they don't overlap, just because I want this to be my last go with puppies, because I would like to have a vacation again. I would like to not have to worry about anybody or take care of anybody right now. I would like at least a break from that, if not that, for the rest of my life. So we've got at least another 4 years, more than likely. So we'll see what happens. So we're on the 2-week foster to adopt program. So we'll see how it goes. And I'm down here now to pick up his meds. So that's all for me, I do believe. So thanks for listening, and I will see you all in the next. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.